We begin with the shooting of two National Guard troops in our nation's capital. The president confirmed yesterday that 20-year-old Sarah Beckstrom has died. The other Guard member, Andrew Wolfe, is, quote, fighting for his life. This morning, U.S. Attorney for D.C. Jeanine Pirro expressed hope Wolfe could still recover and said charges are being upgraded for the suspect.
There are certainly many more charges to come, but we are upgrading the initial charges of assault to murder in the first degree. The other guardsman, of course, we still have hope. He's still in critical condition.
And take a look at this. CBS News has obtained this new photo of the suspect. It was apparently taken the day he entered the U.S. CBS News Homeland Security correspondent Nicole Sganga joins us from Washington. Nicole, you've been following this. Get us up to speed on the latest developments. What are you learning?
Yeah, Tom, officials confirm that the suspect spent roughly 8 years in a CIA-backed zero-unit operation before fleeing Taliban threats in the eastern region of Afghanistan, a region known as Khost. His former badge reveals that the suspect was assigned to what's known as Kandahar Strike Force, or 03 unit, the 03 unit that he was a part of. It's an Afghan intelligence unit and paramilitary force that worked with the CIA, and those units are often labeled by human rights groups as death squads. They see a tremendous amount of violence. The suspect later relocated to Kabul before entering the U.S. in Washington state under Operation Allies Welcome. Now, the FBI has interviewed relatives, including his brother, the suspect's brother, in San Diego. All of the family has described themselves as stunned, according to sources that CBS News has been speaking with. The revolver that was used in the attack, according to U.S. officials, was not registered to the suspect and was traced back to a deceased resident in Washington state. U.S. intelligence teams right now, the FBI, are trying to comb through the suspect's digital footprint for signs of any sort of foreign direction or radicalization. But so far, these sort of preliminary looks show no confirmed links to extremist groups or international handlers of any kind. Of course, this investigation is ongoing. We heard from former Afghan Special Operations Commander Lieutenant General Sami Sadat, who told our CBS News colleagues in London that the suspect was known as a disciplined anti-Taliban operator. He had a clean record, but he did note that he struggled with PTSD. And Afghan officials and U.S. officials who have been briefed on the investigation say the suspect was disturbed by some of the violence that he had witnessed throughout his career and the recent death of a friend overseas. Authorities are still examining why he traveled nearly 2,800 miles driving cross-country with only a few rounds, a detail they call really unusual and sort of unexplained so far. Sources say the suspect was initially uncooperative. He's now ventilated at a D.C. area hospital, not very responsive, complicating some of the efforts to interview him, Tom. And officials have also identified some degree of paranoia that he had, a fear of deportation. It's unclear if there were any red flags that would have prevented the suspect from entering into the United States, but U.S. officials tell us that wartime vetting that the suspect would have undergone before working with the CIA was designed more specifically to prevent insider attacks on U.S. troops and not serve as a sort of long-term clearinghouse for immigration. We know that Army specialist Sarah Beckstrom did pass away yesterday, succumbing to her injuries. There was a procession in Washington, D.C. last night, National Guard lining the streets from the hospital to the office of the chief medical examiner. And we do expect a funeral for her in the coming days. As you mentioned, Andrew Wolfe, 24-year-old member of West Virginia's National Guard, remains in the hospital in critical condition. And as the U.S. attorney mentioned there, a lot of prayers going out to him. He's surrounded now by family and friends.
Nicole Sganga with some new reporting there. Nicole, we appreciate it. Thank you.